Hi everyone! Well, today's my birthday. Only 15 years to go till I'm 70 then, but I think 70 is the new 40. Just to get it clear though, I'm not 70, okay? But I think one of the problems when you get to my age is you think, what have I still got time left to achieve? I don't know whether that's cultural pressure, maybe it's just me. Although people talk about bucket lists, which I kind of think is more about what they want to experience or enjoy and tick off their list. You know, obviously I have that too. But I don't know whether it's because we live in a very privileged part of the world and you feel like you should be doing something with that privilege to have an impact on people less well off. But anyway, that's getting on to something that I wasn't really planning to talk about. I just felt like it was time to do another chatty update video. I think the last one I did was just in the middle of January. That was a kind of New Year's resolution-y kind of thing. And I know I ended that video with, don't know if any of this will help, we'll see. But what was I thinking? Especially after the culture shock video. So of course Crash and Burn came shortly after. So in that January video I was talking about momentum and not breaking the chain, and I'm just not really in that kind of place at this moment in my life to be thinking about achievements and momentum and all those kind of things. I think the don't break the chain thing is good, but probably for me right now not in terms of achieving things. I think you've got to be very careful about assessing the objectives that you set for yourself and your current fitness for those objectives. So as I mentioned before we went to Marrakesh, the result was I got ill. And I have been aware over the last 2 or 3 years that when I've been in very stressful situations, even if it's good stress, like, you know, sometimes when I've done a gig, then straight afterwards I've had like a really severe headache, and then that wipes me out for a few days. It takes me a few days to recover. So I'm just going to have to be very careful about pacing myself. So something that was good about that New Year's video was about making sure you have clearly defined personal objectives so that you don't get drawn into things that other people want you to do or ask you to do. But my objectives definitely need to be more along the lines of recovery. I think I'm still in recovery mode. But I have been learning some really good techniques for calming yourself down when your anxiety levels get a bit high. And lots of you mentioned things like tapping and that sort of thing when we were talking about coping mechanisms. And I guess it's just finding something that is not too obvious, like when you're in business meetings or whatever. But I've definitely found 1 or 2 techniques that have been extremely useful and have enabled me to calm my anxiety levels down so that when I maybe address certain issues with people, it's not coming with the kind of strength of emotion that makes people only see the emotion and not what you're trying to say. So that's been really good, and I think Ben's been really grateful about that. And that really came home to me when I was watching a video by, I think it was Deborah Pegay. I'll link it below, or here, I'll do a little link here to her video about is the message received the message sent. So that was a helpful thing. She was describing a bit like, you know, you've got to make sure that the address on a letter that you mail or post, if you're UK, has the right address on it, and so that if you're trying to communicate something, you need to be addressing it in the right sort of way, so not with like a raging emotion. People just see the emotion and not hear what you're trying to communicate. So that's been good, and making sure that your kind of anxiety levels are calmed right down so that that does come over in the right way. And the other thing that I've been really learning about is, so you still learn things at the age of 55, is techniques that you can use when you're thinking things through to resolve things, when you need to make decisions or you just need to work something out. And one of the things I've been learning is that when you are about to think something through, you need to kind of imagine that you're in quite a safe place with people that you feel safe with. That sounds a bit crazy because it's all going on in your head, but I've never thought about that before, and somebody got me thinking about that, and I was suddenly aware that people that might have criticised me in the past or said undermining things, it was, if I imagined I was in a room rather than just you know, wandering around thinking, those people were in the room. I'm thinking, what are they doing there? You know, I need to have, like, you know, the grown-up me there, you know, with all the wisdom that I've gathered over the years and knowledge and experience and that sort of thing, and maybe the me that goes, no, that's taking on too much, and, you know, pace yourself more, and the me that goes, now you need to factor in some fun things as well to get the right balance. And that's been really helpful, because I've been able to think, oh no, I'm not listening to you. And then it's made me able to think much more clearly about things and think, what is really my responsibility to take on? What is not my responsibility to take on? And it's made such a difference. So I don't know if any of you do that. Do you? So yeah, that's just one or two things I've been thinking through. And tonight we are doing a fun thing because it's my birthday and we're going to go up the Shard. So Darcy's going to be home in a minute and we're going to go and do that. And yeah, I just thought I'd update you. Don't know how helpful this little video is. If you guys have found those kind of things helpful. But yeah, so just a little bit more, just a few more thoughts on kind of coping mechanisms and different techniques that you can use for working through things. Any suggestions would be helpful. Hope you found some of these suggestions helpful too. And yeah, so I definitely need to rethink my objectives and make them a bit more recovery based. So that's all for now. See you soon. Bye.